Hey folks, this is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father, and today we're talking about walking on water and why Jesus did it. Why did Jesus walk on water? So we think about the Bible in a general sense, and there are many, many stories that overlap from one to another. They are similar in some ways, they reference each other, they do things, and again, I showed you that graph where all these scriptures referencing other scriptures and if they cross over and things of that nature. It's a very intense book. It's a very well designed book, I guess is the best way for me to think about it. So let's talk about walking on water. So you got Moses, right? Moses parted the Red Sea and then he went below the water. But somehow he went from one side of the Red Sea to the other side of the Red Sea without getting wet, right? And then the Red Sea collapses on Pharaoh, right? There's symbology going on there. It's not only what happened, if it happened, but there's a symbolic measure going on. Something's going on with this water, right? Think about the licking of the trench, where there's a trench of water, there's a giant amount of water, and this thing comes from the sky and it evaporates all the water, right? That is symbolic as well. There's something going on there, but why? Why water? What does water even mean, right? So think about this. It seems like no matter what we do, we're not going to be able to get away from the concept that we need water. We need water, period. We are 70 to 75%, depending on where you get the stats, made of water ourselves in our body. So when we deprive ourselves of water, we're moving towards death, basically. So water ain't going anywhere. We need water. However, water is not only life-giving, it could also be life-taking. So if you don't know how to swim in the middle of a lake, you will die. And it will be from something that has the propensity to save your life, but it kills you because you're not supposed to breathe it in. So I'm telling you things you already know. But anyway, so what is it about water, right? So let's take a look at a scripture here really quick. We'll go to Matthew 14 in verse 25. Okay, it says, "Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. 'It is a ghost,' they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, 'Take courage, it is not. Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid.' 'Lord, if it's you,' Peter said, 'tell me to come to you on the water.' 'Come,' he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But then he saw the wind. He was afraid, and he began to sink. Cried out, 'Lord, save me.' Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. 'You of little faith,' he said, 'why do you doubt?' And then they climbed into the boat. The wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, 'Truly, you are the Son of God,'" right? So what's going on here? Jesus is God in the flesh, and he's trying to show you something very important about water. Believe it or not. You're like, no, he's trying to show you about his power. No, he's trying to show you about water. And not to say he didn't show you his power, but what I'm saying is, if you see what's happening, he calls Peter out and he says, "Take courage, don't be afraid. Don't be enveloped by fear. Don't be emotional." That's what he's saying. He's saying, you want things to go as if they're solid in your life? Be stoic. That's what he's saying, basically. Be strong. How? By not getting overwhelmed by your fear. So it's not that fear physically makes Peter rise to the top of the water. Symbolically, Jesus is saying, if you know how to suppress your fear, it will go much better for you and you will not drown in life's sorrows. That's really what's being conveyed. Instead of sinking, instead of constantly treading water, you will rise above the emotions. You will rise above the fear. You will rise above the chaos. The necessary part of life, which is water, that brings amazing things, which is a little bit of drama here and there, and it keeps you life interesting. But you could also suppress the fear of those emotions when you need to. When you need to, and you think life is out of control, you could say like, "I got this. I got this." Yeah, but 5 different people are suing you. Yeah, I guess I'll have to take them one at a time. We're gonna do this thing. Let's go. And that's going to enable you to do more amazing, incredible things. It will be miraculous, right? People will look at you like, how does he do it? Well, first of all, you got to do it. That's the challenging part. So that's what that is about, folks. If you ever wonder, like, gosh, that's so beautiful. It's so beautiful that he's walking on water. It's a miracle, and it's just about showing miracles. Well, there's more going on there. It's like if you look at it that way, it is amazing, but it's not necessarily what's trying to be conveyed. So when I see that scripture now, I go like, okay, he wants you to be less emotional. He wants you to pull yourself up out of the water, and he wants you to also stay above the water. Right? That's it, folks. This is the reason why Jesus walked on water, as far as I could tell. Anyway, this is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father. Hopefully you found that at least entertaining, if not educational. And if you liked it in any way, shape, or form, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could just move this video on to someone else as well as you subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Share it with your family or friends, and at least you have something to talk about this week. And this is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.